Hello and welcome everyone. It's Shanna Makes It, and I'm part of the creative crew for Cat Scrappiness. Today I'm working with this haunted house on the hill background die set. I'm using this Jeepers Peepers background die. I'll also be using this cardstock here. I've got the Ghostly Trick or Treat Shadow Sentiment, and I've got the Halloween Lantern add-on stamp set. And these are the products that I will be using today from Cat Scrappiness. All of the products will be listed in the product bar as well as the description box below so that you can shop, and I encourage you to do so. If you're looking for a way to make some quick, easy shaker cards for Halloween, these cover plates are perfect for it. They make it so simple that you don't have to add a lot to your card, and you've got a really great scene for both of these. So I'm going to work with the house first, the haunted house first, and I'm going to just die cut it out of black cardstock. I've got some onyx black cardstock here that I'm using, and it die cuts beautifully. I'm just going to use my Spellbinder 6 and just run this plate through as you normally would. And it really only takes one pass for this to die cut out beautifully. And I am using the magic mat there. And I'm just going to pull this off. And the pieces, most of the pieces just automatically pop out onto my magic mat and then just fall out as I'm working with them. I will bring in my Cat Scrappiness pickup and stick tool to poke out the little bits, and they pop out very easily. And you've just got your windows and your doors, and they just pop out nice. And then you've got the little pumpkins off to the side. You've got their little eyes and their mouth that you need to pop out. So that's what I'm doing here, and I'm just cleaning it up, and it's ready to go. I mean, it's as simple as that, and you've got a wonderful happy Halloween, fall, spooky card base. So I'm going to bring in this kind of lime green or slime green color because I think it's a great color for Halloween, and it'll pair nicely with the black. And this is just going to be my background panel. And I'm going to lay my cover plate on it. And I've decided I'm going to make it a shaker card. I'm going to take the moon, actually, and get some white cardstock and die cut it out. And I'm also going to bring in that trick-or-treat, ghostly trick-or-treat die, and I'm going to do the words with it. And I'm going to just do it all on this white Hammer Mill 110-pound cardstock, and I'll just lay it on there, and I can just make one pass and get these. For this one, I can actually use my Scout, which is my smaller die cutting machine, and it'll fit nicely on there. The plates, you've got to use your Spellbinder 6 or your regular size die cutting machine to die cut them out. But anytime I have little pieces, I like to bring this in. It just makes quick work, and then die cut it out. I just, because I'm on the camera, I rolled it in and then rolled it back so that I could just pull it out easier. And I'm going to just pull these apart. And you see that I just dropped my die and my moon popped out of there beautifully. And all the little bits are laying there on my desk. We'll just lay that aside. And then we're going to pop out our ghostly trick or treat and lay it aside. I'm going to kind of keep it together as much as I can because I need the inside of the O in the word or. So I'm just going to lay that over there aside. This comes in 3 pieces. You've got your trick or treat, and the CK is separate, and then your ghost is separate. So it's 3 pieces. And I'm going to keep that die cut piece just in case I need it to line them up. I won't wind up using it, but sometimes I do, so I laid that aside so I'd keep it. Now I'm going to take my moon. It is a little stark for my green, my lime green background there. So I'm just going to take what ink is on my yellow blending brush. And I'd laid my blue one out, but blue and yellow makes green. So I went and grabbed my dark, my black soot brush, and I'm just putting some black on there just to darken my moon and make it a little bit more Halloween-y. Now I'm going to bring in the Hocus Pocus sprinkles, and I'm also going to bring in the Vamp It Up sprinkles and the Halloween solid round confetti mix. And I'll wind up using the Vamp It Up sprinkle mix and the Halloween solid sequin mix on this particular card. And then I'll use the Hocus Pocus on the other card that I make. So I'm bringing in some of my packaging. I think this is the packaging that the stamp set come in, and I'm just trimming it. I trimmed the hanger part off and then the sticker part off, and then I'm just cutting it to just under A2 size panel. I think I took 1/8 of an inch off top and bottom, and I've got 2 of them there. So I actually was able to cut both shaker backer panels in one with one stamp packaging is what I did. I like to use my tape runner when I'm laying down acetate or packaging for my shaker cards because the glue it doesn't seep through, and so it works, and you get a fast hold with it here. So I'm just going to lay my cover panel face down and then line my plastic packaging up and just smush it down into the tape runner. And then I'm running my fingers along the edge, just cleaning up any tape that might be hanging over the edge. And now I'm going to bring in some shaker strips. And these are wonderful. They're just perfect for an A2 shaker. You've got the exact size for the sides, and then you just have to trim the bottom and top down a little bit, and then just save that for something else. And these are good and thick. I chose these so that I would have enough room for all of my little bits to move around. And in this Vamp It Up sprinkle mix that I'm using, you've got bones and tombstones and little coffins and stars and actually hearts and bats and all kinds of sprinkles. They're just really, really fun. Cat Scrappiness has the greatest selection of sprinkle mixes, confetti, sequins, dots, all of the embellishments. They've got just a great selection of them, so I encourage you to check that out. Now I'm going to just glue down my moon and get it positioned. And I kind of looked at it and I wasn't really sure, is there a particular way you should position it, but I don't think it matters. So now I'm going to bring in my Vamp It Up, and I'm just going to actually just pour them right out on this card base here. And then I'll grab my other mix, which is the Halloween solid round confetti sprinkle mix. And then I'll pull off the backer strips for these shaker strips. And I'm just going to position this right over the top of that green panel. And then just press down nicely. And I'm just going to make sure I got it good and covered. And I'm trimming off. I got it a little bit uneven, and so I'm just trimming it off and trimming off any extra shaker strip that I need to. And that pretty much pulls this shaker card together. I'm going to lay it down on a side folding card base. Just glue it down on there. Trim off another piece of that foam shaker strip. Get it lined up. And we're just going to lay that card aside. And I'm not going to use that trick or treat, the ghostly trick or treat on it, because it's just too big. And so we'll just lay that aside. I'm going to stamp up our Halloween lantern add-on stamp set. I'm just going to stamp the whole thing, and so that I'll have all the sentiments and the other items on there should I decide to use them at a later time. A lot of times when I get a new stamp, I like to just stamp the whole thing and just get all of my elements stamped down. And if you've watched me before, you've probably seen me do this cheat. I'll leave them right on the carrier sheet, and then I'll put some tape on the back of them and pick it up and just stamp everything at once. The reason why I do this is it's faster. You can clean them up quicker and put them away quicker. And so that's why I do it this way. Now, if you've got dies that you need to use with them, you'll probably have to pull them apart because you won't have space for all the dies. But I'm not using dies on these today, so I'm just going to get them all stamped up, and then we can just do a quick cleanup and put it away. And it's just a kind of a quick cheat to make for fast stamping and cleanup. So I've got my Memento Black ink here, and I'm just going to ink it up and give it a good press. And there we go. We've got all of our images and our sentiments stamped out. I'm going to take that off my sheet. I'm going to bring in my spray, just spray it down, clean it up, and put it away. So now that I've got everything cleaned up, I've got all of my sentiments die cut out. I just use some different small dies to die cut those out so that I can use them. And I'm going to bring in, for our second card, I'm going to bring in our Peepers shadow or cover plate. And we're going to use this purple, and we're just going to run it through our Spellbinder 6 and create our second card. I'll just get it laid down on there. That piece of cardstock is bigger than what I actually need. So I'm going to put it toward the top and the side so that I'll have the rest of that to use for another project another day. So this just cuts out all of the little different eyes. You've got all the little ghostly eyes, and I think that's why they've called it the Peepers. And so I'm just going to get it all die cut out. And you've got all these bits, and they just popped right out. I'm just cleaning them off my magic mat, and we'll get them out of the way. And there we go. We've got all of our little eyes, and this is a fun set. I just took that over to the trash can and just tapped it on there, and all the little bits fell out, and then I put it away. I'm going to use this orange because I think the purple and the orange are a great combination for Halloween cards. And I'm just going to cut it down to just under an A2 size panel. Much like I did the first one, there's a lot of similarities here. I'm going to use the same plastic, that second sheet that I had cut down for our shaker back, and we're going to get this made into a shaker as well. So I hope you followed along our recent hops and got to see all of the Halloween products. We did a fall Halloween hop showing the Halloween products, and we did a fall hop. I don't know if I said the first one was a Halloween hop and the second one was a fall hop, just showing all the newly released products, and there are some really fun things. I wanted to get this one done because you know, Halloween is nearing. We can work with fall for a while longer, but, you know, Halloween's at the end of the month. So I thought I would get these cards made and get them up on the channel so you could check them out. There's still plenty of time to order, so you might want to get them ordered, and if you're wanting to make something so that you can get it in. So I'm just going to use, I've got some smaller shaker strips that I'm using for this one. And these are just a little bit less dimensional, and they are a little bit thinner. And I'm just using them, and I'm going to do the same thing like I did the other one. I've got my acetate laid down, and I'm just putting my dimension strips in there. And then we'll bring in our bits, and we'll get them laid down on our panel, and we'll get this laid down just like we did the other one. And we will have two very fast shaker cards that really turned out very nice. So here this is where I'm going to use the Hocus Pocus. And this is got the three little Hocus Pocus gals. And it's got some little black hearts and some purple and green sequins. And it's super cute. And what I'm doing here, since I use the smaller dimensional foam, I'm just picking out the green balls because it's a little bit thick for that. It would have worked with my other card, but because I used the thinner dimension, I didn't want the balls to kind of get hung up on my card. So I'm just going to lay this down on here and give it a good press. It's sticking to my glass mat, but I had a little piece that was exposed there, so I just laid some additional orange down on it and just glued it down, and I'm going to just lay this down on my card base. And then as I was looking at this, I thought that I wanted a way to make those eyeballs pop a little bit more. So I took the Onyx Black Solid Round Confetti, and I'm just going to put some glue down on all of those little eye areas, and I am going to add the black to the eyeballs. So I'm just putting glue on each of the eyeballs. The ones that are pointed eyeballs, I did not put the circles on, but the ones that were rounded, I used the onyx black solid round confettis to put on there. And then I will later bring in some white linen dots and put them on the inside of the black and create like a little eyeball in there. And I think it kind of helps the eyes to pop out on this panel. So it was just a little fun extra thing I added. Probably not necessary at all, but I was just feeling kind of fun and thought I would do that. So we're getting all these black ones laid down on there. And then next, I will bring in those white linen dots and sprinkle some of those out. I'm going to lay some glue down on top of the black solid round confetti and put the little white dots in there, and they'll look like little eyeballs. And so it'll take me a minute to do that. I'll get them laid down, and then we'll add our sentiment. So here's a look at our little eyeballs, and you can see I kind of went over the top with it there and just put little eyeballs on there. Now I will have to remove some of them. I realize that once I get my sentiment together. I'm going to use this lime green and do my shadow for my trick or treat, my ghostly trick or treat. And we'll just get it laid down on the shadow, and then we'll lay it down on our card base. So I've taken all the bits out of there except for the center of the O. I actually left the center and then the round piece that you need to take away from it, and just so I could keep it all together. And I'm going to get it glued up and then lay it down on here, and then I'll pull that O out of the center there and leave the middle in it. That way it'll look correct on my sentiment. And so I'm just going to grab my little poke tool and just lift that piece up that I need to pull out. And I kept it in there just so it would keep my center of my O centered. And now we're going to add our CK, and this is where I'm talking about. It comes in 3 pieces. And we'll get it laid down on there. That's the second piece. And then our ghost is the third piece. And so we'll get the little die cut pieces popped out, and we'll get it glued down on there. And it is a really cute sentiment. If you like little ghosts, there's some little bats on there too. And the font is just kind of a creepy, wonky font for Halloween. And then I'm realizing I'm going to lay it down on there. And I thought I shouldn't put those on that side because it's going to make it bumpy. So I'm going to pick off the ones that I don't need and make room for that sentiment. And then we can get it laid down there flat. And we've got a simple, easy card that's a shaker card and a lot of fun. So I'll just clean up my mess, and we'll bring in our other card, which we had not put a sentiment on yet. And so I'm going to just kind of pick through here. I've got a Happy Halloween here that I have die cut out that I stamped with the Halloween lantern add-on, and I'm just bringing in that same brush that I brushed my moon with, and I'm just kind of adding a little yellow hue to it. And then I'm going to use some of those leftover shaker bits that I had, the small strips that I cut away, and I'm going to pop this up, and we'll get this laid down on our haunted house panel, and that'll finish off our card. I think it turned out really cute. I hope you like them. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.